The moment Eliza Winters discovered Marcus Chen's secret, everything she thought she knew about her quiet, hard-working employee shattered. Standing in his living room, surrounded by evidence of wealth beyond imagination, she realized the humble single father who'd stolen her heart had been hiding something extraordinary all along. But as the truth unfolded, Eliza would learn that some secrets are kept not out of deception, but protection, and that the greatest fortune isn't measured in dollars at all. If you're enjoying this story, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more heartwarming tales of unexpected love and life-changing discoveries. Your support means everything. Eliza Winters drummed her manicured nails against the polished mahogany of her desk, eyes fixed on the clock. 8:47 a.m. Marcus Chen was late, again. Third time this month. As CEO of Winters Design Group, she'd built her reputation on precision and professionalism. Tardiness was simply unacceptable. When Marcus finally rushed through the door at 9:03, his normally neat appearance slightly disheveled, Eliza felt the familiar mixture of irritation and something else she couldn't quite name. "Mr. Chen," she said coolly. "My office." "Now." The other designers exchanged knowing glances as Marcus followed her, his expression resigned. At 34, he was one of her most talented designers, but lately, his performance had been slipping. Once the door closed behind them, Eliza gestured for him to sit. "This is becoming a pattern, Marcus. I need an explanation." Marcus ran a hand through his dark hair. "I'm sorry, Ms. Winters. Lily was running a fever this morning. I had to wait for my neighbor to come over before I could leave." Lily. His 6-year-old daughter. The one he'd been raising alone since his wife died 3 years ago. The one whose artwork adorned his cubicle walls. The one he mentioned in nearly every conversation. Eliza softened despite herself. "Is she all right?" "Just a cold, I think. But with her asthma, I can't take chances." Eliza nodded, understanding all too well the weight of responsibility. At 36, she'd sacrificed everything for her company, including, some might say, her humanity. The board members often joked she had ice water in her veins. Sometimes, she wondered if they were right. "I understand family emergencies happen, Marcus. But this company has deadlines. The Parkerson account presentation is tomorrow, and your designs aren't finalized." Marcus straightened. "They will be. I'll stay late tonight." "That won't be necessary," Eliza said, making a split-second decision. "I'll help you finish. We'll order dinner and work here." The surprise on his face almost made her smile. "Almost. That's very generous, Ms. Winters. It's practical, not generous. This account is too important to risk." She stood, signaling the end of their meeting. 7 o'clock. "Don't be late." As Marcus left her office, Eliza wondered what had possessed her to make such an offer. In 5 years of running the company, she'd never stayed late to help an employee. But something about Marcus Chen's quiet dedication, his gentle persistence despite the obvious struggles of single parenthood, had gotten under her skin. At precisely 7 p.m., Marcus knocked on her office door, laptop in hand. The office was quiet, most employees having left hours ago. "Right on time," Eliza noted with approval. "I called to check on Lily. She's feeling better." He hesitated. "Thank you again for this opportunity, Ms. Winters." "Eliza," she corrected, surprising herself. "After hours, I think we can dispense with formalities." They spread their work across her conference table, ordering Thai food that arrived steaming and fragrant. As they worked, Eliza found herself increasingly impressed by Marcus's creative vision. His designs were innovative yet practical, beautiful yet functional. "Why did you become a designer?" she asked during a break, chopsticks poised over her pad thai. Marcus looked up, seeming startled by her personal question. "I've always loved creating spaces that tell stories. Architecture was my first love, but after Lily was born, I needed something with more flexible hours. And her mother? The question slipped out before Eliza could stop herself. Pain flickered across his face. Cancer. 3 years ago. I'm sorry, Eliza said, meaning it. We had 5 good years together. And I have Lily. His smile was sad but genuine. She's everything to me. Eliza nodded, suddenly uncomfortable with the intimacy of the moment. We should get back to work. By midnight, they had completed the presentation. As they packed up, Eliza found herself reluctant to end the evening. Your designs are exceptional, Marcus. The Parkerson people will be impressed. Thank you. For everything. He hesitated. Would you like to see some photos of Lily? I know it's late, but... Against her better judgment, Eliza nodded. Marcus pulled out his phone, showing her pictures of a beaming little girl with her father's dark eyes and dimpled smile. She's beautiful, Eliza said softly. She's why I do everything, Marcus replied, his voice filled with a love so pure it made Eliza's chest ache with an emptiness she usually ignored. As he left, Eliza remained at her desk, troubled by unfamiliar emotions. Marcus Chen was just an employee, a talented one, yes, but still just an employee. She had no business feeling this strange pull toward him and his life. Yet as she drove home to her empty penthouse apartment, she couldn't shake the image of his face, lit with pride as he showed her pictures of his daughter. The Parkerson presentation was a resounding success. The clients loved Marcus's designs, and Eliza found herself watching him with unexpected pride as he explained his concepts with quiet confidence. Excellent work, team, she announced afterward. Especially you, Marcus. Your vision carried the day. He flushed with pleasure at her praise, and something fluttered in Eliza's stomach. Dangerous territory, she warned herself. Over the next few weeks, Eliza found herself paying more attention to Marcus. She noticed how he always brought lunch from home, simple sandwiches or leftovers. How he never joined the team for after-work drinks. How he wore the same 5 shirts in rotation, all well-made but showing signs of wear. One afternoon, passing his cubicle, she overheard him on the phone. I know it's expensive, Dr. Reeves, but if it will help her breathing. Yes, I understand. I'll figure something out. When he hung up, his face was drawn with worry. Eliza retreated before he could see her, but the conversation nagged at her. That evening, she called her friend Dr. Sarah Reeves. Sarah, this is unusual, but do you have a patient named Lily Chen? About 6 years old, asthma? Eliza, you know I can't discuss patients. I'm not asking for details. Her father works for me, and I overheard him concerned about costs. If there's a treatment she needs. Sarah sighed. I can't confirm anything. But hypothetically, if a child with severe asthma needed specialized treatment not covered by insurance, it would be around $5,000. Eliza thanked her and hung up, a plan already forming. The next morning, she called Marcus into her office. I'm implementing a new health benefit for employees with dependents who have chronic conditions, she announced without preamble. The company will cover specialized treatments up to $10,000 annually. It's effective immediately. Marcus stared at her. That's incredibly generous. It's good business. Healthy families mean focused employees. She met his eyes steadily. The paperwork will be ready this afternoon. For a moment, she thought he might argue or question her timing. Instead, he simply said, "Thank you, Eliza," with such genuine gratitude that she had to look away. As he turned to leave, she added, "And Marcus? There's a company dinner Friday night. Important clients will be there. I'd like you to attend. I'll need to find a sitter for Lily." "Bring her," Eliza said impulsively. "It's at the Botanical Gardens. They have that butterfly exhibit she might enjoy." The surprise on his face was worth the breach of company protocol. She would love that. Thank you. After he left, Eliza sat back in her chair, wondering what was happening to her carefully constructed professional boundaries. Friday evening arrived with perfect early summer weather. The botanical gardens were transformed with twinkling lights and elegant table settings among the lush greenery. Eliza arrived early, supervising last-minute details in a midnight blue dress that complemented her auburn hair. When Marcus appeared at the entrance, holding Lily's hand, Eliza's breath caught. He looked different outside the office, more relaxed in dark slacks and a blue button-down that matched his daughter's dress. Lily was even more charming in person, with a shy smile and a butterfly clip in her dark hair. "Ms. Winters," she exclaimed when Marcus pointed Eliza out. "Daddy says you're the boss of everything." Eliza laughed, genuinely delighted. "Not everything. Just a small part of the design world." "Daddy says you're the smartest person he knows," Lily continued, ignoring her father's embarrassed expression. "Is that so?" Eliza raised an eyebrow at Marcus, enjoying his discomfort. "Lily has a tendency to embellish," he said, but his eyes held something warm when they met Eliza's. Throughout the evening, Eliza found herself drawn to them repeatedly. Marcus was excellent with clients, his quiet confidence impressive. And Lily charmed everyone, especially when she discovered the butterfly pavilion and squealed with delight as a monarch landed on her outstretched finger. "She's wonderful," Eliza told Marcus as they watched Lily carefully examining a display of cocoons. "She's my heart walking around outside my body," he replied simply. Later, as the event wound down, Eliza noticed Lily yawning. "You should take her home," she told Marcus. "The clients are impressed, and she's had a long evening." "Thank you for including her," Marcus said. "It meant a lot to both of us." On impulse, Eliza reached out and squeezed his hand. "I'm glad you both came." The touch lingered a moment too long, electricity sparking between them. Marcus's eyes darkened, and for one breathless moment, Eliza thought he might say something more. Instead, he called Lily over to say goodbye. "Thank you for the butterflies, Ms. Winters," Lily said solemnly, offering a small curtsy that made Eliza's heart melt. "You're very welcome, Lily. Perhaps you can visit them again sometime." As they left, Eliza felt a strange emptiness, as if something essential had departed with them. The following weeks brought a subtle shift in Eliza and Marcus's professional relationship. She found reasons to consult him on projects, to stop by his desk, to include him in client meetings. For his part, Marcus seemed to bloom under her attention, his work becoming even more impressive. One evening, working late, Eliza passed the break room and found Marcus on the phone, his voice tight with concern. "Mrs. Abernathy, I understand, but I can't leave work right now. I'm in the middle of an important project." "Yes, I know Lily's upset, but..." Eliza stepped into the doorway. "Go," she said quietly. Marcus looked up, startled. "Ms. Winters, I..." "Go to Lily. Family comes first." The relief on his face was palpable. "Thank you. I'll make up the time, I promise. Don't worry about that. Just take care of your daughter." After he rushed out, Eliza stood in the empty break room, thinking about priorities and the choices that shaped a life. Her own parents had been distant figures, more concerned with their social standing than their only child. She'd built her company partly to prove she didn't need their approval or support. But watching Marcus with Lily had awakened something in her, a yearning for connection she'd long suppressed. The next morning, Marcus appeared in her doorway, looking tired but resolute. "I want to explain about last night," he began. Eliza waved him in. "No explanation necessary." "I'd like to anyway." He sat across from her. "Lily had a nightmare about her mother. It happens sometimes, especially when I'm working late. Our neighbor watches her, but she doesn't understand what Lily's been through. Eliza nodded, unexpectedly moved by his willingness to share something so personal. I appreciate your understanding, he continued. Not every boss would be so accommodating. I'm not every boss, Eliza replied, surprising herself with the softness in her voice. Something shifted in the air between them, a recognition, perhaps, of boundaries blurring. No, Marcus agreed quietly. You're not. Before either could say more, Eliza's assistant buzzed with a reminder about her next meeting. The moment broke, but something had changed. They both felt it. 2 weeks later, Eliza made a decision that surprised even herself. The company's annual charity gala was approaching, a black tie affair that raised money for children's arts education. Traditionally, she attended alone or with a carefully selected business associate. This year would be different. She found Marcus in the design studio, reviewing blueprints with a junior designer. A moment of your time, Mr. Chen? In her office, she came straight to the point. The charity gala is next Saturday. I'd like you to attend as my guest. Marcus blinked, clearly caught off guard. As your guest? Yes. It's an excellent networking opportunity, and the Parkerson clients will be there. They specifically asked about you. It wasn't entirely a lie, but it wasn't her primary motivation either. I'd be honored, Marcus said carefully. But Lily. The event includes a children's program. Several employees bring their children. She'd be well supervised and entertained. Marcus studied her face, as if searching for something beyond her words. In that case, we'd be delighted to accept. Excellent. I'll send you the details. Eliza hesitated, then added, it's formal attire. A shadow crossed his face. I understand. Later, Eliza wondered if she'd made a mistake. Marcus's careful budgeting was obvious to anyone paying attention. A formal event would require expenses he might not be able to afford. The solution came to her the next day. She called the company's image consultant. Diane, I need a favor. We're featuring some of our designers in the new marketing materials. I need Marcus Chen fitted for a tuxedo for the photo shoot. And perhaps his daughter for a complimentary piece, something appropriate for a formal children's event. Certainly, Ms. Winters. When would you like this scheduled? Tomorrow, if possible. The shoot is, soon. It was manipulative, perhaps even condescending. But Eliza couldn't bear the thought of Marcus declining the invitation due to financial constraints. The following afternoon, she casually mentioned the photo shoot to Marcus. Marketing thinks featuring our designers will personalize the company. Diane will handle everything, just go with Lily after work tomorrow. They'll need you in formal wear for some of the shots. If Marcus suspected her true motives, he didn't show it. Of course. Whatever the company needs. 2 days later, Diane reported success. Mr. Chen was reluctant at first, but I explained it was for company marketing. He and his daughter have been fitted appropriately. I must say, Ms. Winters, they make a striking pair. Eliza ignored the knowing tone in Diane's voice. Thank you. Send the invoice to my personal account, not the company's. Your personal account? But you said. The marketing campaign is still in development. I'll sort out the accounting later. The night of the gala arrived with perfect early autumn weather. Eliza spent more time than usual on her appearance, selecting an emerald gown that complemented her auburn hair and fair skin. As her car approached Marcus's address, she felt an unfamiliar nervousness. The building surprised her, a modest apartment complex in a working-class neighborhood. Nothing shabby, but certainly not what one would expect for someone of Marcus's talent and education. He was waiting outside with Lily, both transformed by their formal attire. Marcus looked devastatingly handsome in the perfectly fitted tuxedo, while Lily twirled in a pale pink dress, her hair arranged in an elegant braid interwoven with tiny flowers. You look beautiful, Eliza told Lily as they settled into the car. So do you, Lily replied with childish directness. Like a princess. Thank you. Eliza turned to Marcus, whose eyes were taking in her appearance with undisguised appreciation. She's right, he said softly. You look stunning. The gala was held at the city's most prestigious art museum, transformed for the evening with dramatic lighting and floral arrangements. As they entered, Eliza was acutely aware of Marcus beside her. His presence both reassuring and unsettling. She was used to commanding attention at these events, but tonight felt different, more meaningful somehow with him at her side. The children's program is through there, she told Lily, pointing to a room where other children were already engaged in art activities. They'll have dinner and entertainment while the grown-ups have our boring speeches. Lily looked uncertain, clinging to her father's hand. Marcus knelt down. It'll be fun, Butterfly. And we'll be right in the next room if you need anything. Promise? Lily asked. Promise, both Marcus and Eliza said simultaneously, then exchanged surprised glances. After settling Lily with the other children, they joined the main event. Eliza introduced Marcus to key clients and board members, proudly highlighting his contributions to recent projects. He moved through the crowd with unexpected grace, his quiet confidence impressive. Your designer is quite the find, remarked Jonathan Parkerson, their newest major client. Talented and personable. You should promote him before someone steals him away. I'm well aware of his value, Eliza replied, watching Marcus across the room as he charmed a notoriously difficult architect. The evening progressed smoothly until dinner, when Eliza noticed Marcus checking his phone with increasing frequency, a frown creasing his brow. Is everything all right? She asked quietly. I'm not sure. The coordinator says Lily's having trouble breathing. I should check on her. They excused themselves and hurried to the children's area, where they found Lily sitting apart from the other children, her breathing labored. Daddy, she wheezed, reaching for him. Marcus immediately pulled an inhaler from his pocket. Deep breaths, Butterfly. Just like we practiced. Eliza watched, heart in her throat, as the little girl struggled to follow instructions. After 2 puffs, Lily's breathing eased slightly, but she remained pale. I should take her home, Marcus said, apology in his eyes. Of course. My driver can take you. But the speech, you're supposed to announce the fundraising total. It can wait. Eliza was already texting her assistant to make arrangements. Lily's health is more important. In the car, Lily leaned against her father, exhaustion evident in her small frame. Eliza sat opposite them, concern overriding any disappointment about the gala. I'm sorry, Lily whispered. I ruined the party. You didn't ruin anything, Eliza assured her. Sometimes our bodies just need extra care. At Marcus's apartment building, Eliza made a split-second decision. I'm coming up with you. You might need an extra pair of hands. If Marcus was surprised, he didn't show it. Thank you. The apartment was small but immaculately kept, a 2-bedroom unit with simple, functional furniture and walls covered in Lily's artwork. Eliza helped Marcus settle Lily into bed, fetching water while he administered another dose of medication. The new treatment should prevent these episodes, he said quietly as they stepped into the living room. But it takes time to become fully effective. She'll be all right? Eliza asked. Yes. She just needs rest. He ran a hand through his hair, disheveling its careful styling. I'm sorry about the gala. Don't be ridiculous. Family comes first. Eliza hesitated, then added, You're a wonderful father, Marcus. Something vulnerable crossed his face. I'm trying. Sometimes I feel like I'm failing her. You're not. Anyone can see how much she adores you. They stood in silence, the intimacy of the moment wrapping around them. Marcus was close enough that Eliza could smell his cologne, something subtle and woodsy. "I should go," she said, though she made no move toward the door. "Thank you for tonight," Marcus replied softly. "For everything." Their eyes met, and the air between them charged with unspoken feelings. For one breathless moment, Eliza thought he might kiss her. Instead, he reached out and gently squeezed her hand. "Good night, Eliza." Monday morning brought a return to professional distance, though something had undeniably shifted between them. Eliza found herself thinking of Marcus at odd moments, his gentle hands as he tended to Lily, the warmth in his eyes when he looked at her. Dangerous territory, she reminded herself. He was her employee. There were boundaries for a reason. Yet when the quarterly review period arrived, she found herself approving a substantial raise for him without hesitation. His work merited it, she told herself. It had nothing to do with the way her heart raced when he smiled at her. Weeks passed, and autumn deepened toward winter. The company landed several prestigious new contracts, keeping everyone working overtime. Eliza noticed Marcus looking increasingly tired, the strain of balancing work and single parenthood evident in the shadows beneath his eyes. One evening, passing his cubicle on her way out, she found him asleep at his desk, head pillowed on his arms beside a half-finished design. Beside him lay a child's drawing, clearly Lily's work, of 3 figures, a tall man, a small girl, and a woman with red hair. Eliza's throat tightened. She gently touched his shoulder. "Marcus." He startled awake, disoriented. "Eliza." "I'm sorry, I was just resting my eyes." "You're exhausted. Go home." "But the Henderson project can wait until tomorrow." She picked up Lily's drawing. "Someone needs you more than Henderson does." Marcus looked at the drawing, a flush rising to his cheeks. "She has quite an imagination." Eliza studied the crayon figures, the 3 of them holding hands beneath a rainbow. "Children see things clearly sometimes," she said softly, returning the drawing. "Go home, Marcus." "That's an order." The next day, Eliza made a decision. She called Marcus into her office. "I've been reviewing our workflow," she began without preamble. "You're handling too many projects simultaneously." His face fell. "I can manage. I know I've been tired lately, but—" "I'm not criticizing your work," she interrupted. "I'm concerned about your well-being. I'm promoting you to senior design director." Marcus stared at her. "What?" "The position comes with more responsibility but also more flexibility. You'll have your own office, a small team reporting to you, and the ability to set your own hours within reason." "I don't know what to say." "Say yes. The company needs your talent, but not at the expense of your health or your time with Lily." Marcus studied her face. "Why are you doing this?" The question hung between them, laden with meaning beyond the professional context. "Because you deserve it," Eliza answered simply. "And because I care." The words slipped out before she could censor them, revealing more than she'd intended. Marcus's expression softened. "Thank you. I accept." As he left her office, Eliza wondered if she'd crossed a line she couldn't uncross. But watching him share the news with his colleagues, his face alight with happiness, she couldn't bring herself to regret it. December arrived with a flurry of holiday preparations. The company's annual Christmas party was scheduled for the weekend before the holiday, a family-friendly afternoon event followed by an adults-only evening celebration. Eliza, who usually made a brief appearance before retreating to her office, found herself looking forward to it this year. She'd even purchased gifts for Lily, a set of professional-quality art supplies and a butterfly habitat kit. The day of the party, the office was transformed with tasteful decorations and a towering Christmas tree. Children's laughter filled the usually serious space as employees' families arrived for the afternoon festivities. Eliza was discussing the New Year's projections with a board member when she heard Lily's excited voice. Ms. Winters. We brought you something. Turning, she found Lily hurrying toward her, Marcus following with an indulgent smile. Lily thrust a carefully wrapped package into her hands. I made it myself, she announced proudly. Daddy helped a little. Thank you, Lily. That's very thoughtful. Eliza carefully unwrapped the gift to reveal a framed painting, a butterfly garden rendered with surprising skill for a 6-year-old, with 3 figures sitting on a bench among the flowers. The same 3 figures from the earlier drawing. It's us, Lily explained unnecessarily. At the butterfly garden. Daddy says that was one of the best days ever. Eliza looked up at Marcus, who appeared slightly embarrassed but didn't contradict his daughter. It's beautiful, Eliza said, genuinely touched. I'll hang it in my office where I can see it every day. Lily beamed, then spotted the children's activity table. Can I go make ornaments? Of course, Marcus said, watching her dash off before turning back to Eliza. I hope that wasn't inappropriate. She insisted on making something for you. It's perfect, Eliza assured him. I love it. Their eyes held for a moment too long, until the board member cleared his throat pointedly. I should circulate, Eliza said reluctantly. But thank you. Both of you. Throughout the afternoon, she found herself repeatedly drawn to Marcus and Lily, watching them decorate cookies together, laughing as they posed for photos with Santa, their easy affection for each other both beautiful and painful to witness. When the family portion of the party ended, Marcus approached her. I should get Lily home. She's had enough excitement for one day. Of course. But will you return for the evening event? He hesitated. I wasn't planning to. My neighbor can only sit until 9. I understand. Eliza tried to hide her disappointment. Merry Christmas, Marcus. Merry Christmas, Eliza. She watched them leave, an emptiness settling in her chest that had nothing to do with the holiday season. The evening party was elegant and lively, with excellent food and music. Eliza moved through the crowd, making appropriate conversation, but her thoughts remained with Marcus and Lily in their small apartment. At 9:30, just as she was considering making an early exit, Marcus appeared at the entrance. He'd changed into a dark suit that fit him perfectly, his hair slightly damp as if he'd just showered. Eliza's heart leapt as he made his way toward her. You came, she said, unable to keep the pleasure from her voice. I found a better sitter, he explained. My neighbor's college-age daughter is home for the holidays. Lily adores her. I'm glad. They stood awkwardly for a moment, until Marcus gestured toward the dance floor. Would you like to dance? The band was playing something slow and romantic. Eliza nodded, allowing him to lead her onto the floor. His hand was warm at her waist, his touch respectful but sending electricity through her nonetheless. I wanted to thank you, he said as they moved to the music. This past year, you've changed things for Lily and me. The promotion, the health benefits, your kindness. You earned the promotion, Eliza replied. And the rest was just decent human behavior. Marcus shook his head. It was more than that. You saw us, really saw us, when most people just look past. The vulnerability in his voice touched something deep inside her. You're hard to look past, Marcus Chen. His eyes darkened, and his hand tightened slightly at her waist. Eliza. Whatever he might have said was interrupted by the CEO of their largest client company, who tapped Marcus on the shoulder. Mind if I steal Ms. Winters for a moment? Business never sleeps, I'm afraid. The spell broken, Marcus stepped back with a polite smile. Of course. By the time Eliza extricated herself from the conversation, Marcus was engaged with a group of designers across the room. They didn't manage another private moment for the remainder of the evening. As the party wound down, Eliza found herself standing beside Marcus at the coat check. I should get home to Lily, he said, checking his watch. Of course. Eliza hesitated, then added, I have your Christmas gift in my office. Would you mind stopping by to pick it up before you go? In her office, Eliza retrieved the carefully wrapped packages. The large one is for Lily. The small one is for you. Marcus looked surprised. You didn't need to get me anything. I wanted to. She handed him the gifts. Don't open yours until Christmas. Their fingers brushed during the exchange, lingering longer than necessary. The office was quiet, the sounds of the party muted behind the closed door. Eliza, Marcus said softly. I've been wanting to tell you something. Her heart raced. Yes? Before he could continue, his phone buzzed. Checking it, his expression changed to concern. It's the sitter. Lily's having another breathing episode. I have to go. Of course. Go. Call me if you need anything. He nodded gratefully and hurried out, leaving Eliza alone with the words he hadn't said hanging in the air between them. Christmas morning dawned clear and cold. Eliza woke in her penthouse apartment, surrounded by elegant decorations but no family to share them with. Her parents were in Europe, as usual. Her few close friends had their own families to celebrate with. She was sipping coffee and contemplating a day of work emails when her phone rang. Marcus's name flashed on the screen. Merry Christmas, she answered, unable to keep the pleasure from her voice. Merry Christmas, he replied. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. Not at all. How's Lily? Much better. And absolutely thrilled with the art supplies. She's been drawing since dawn. He paused. I opened my gift too. Eliza had spent weeks selecting the perfect gift for him, a rare first edition of his favorite architectural book, one he'd mentioned admiring in a casual conversation months ago. Did you like it? She asked, suddenly uncertain. It's incredible. How did you even find it? I have my resources, she said, smiling at his obvious delight. It's too generous. It's Christmas, Marcus. Generosity is the point. He was quiet for a moment. What are your plans today? The question caught her off guard. Work, mostly. My family isn't, we don't really do traditional celebrations. Another pause. Would you like to join us? It's nothing fancy, just a small dinner and maybe some board games. Lily would love to show you her new creations. Eliza's throat tightened unexpectedly. I wouldn't want to intrude on your family time. You wouldn't be intruding. You'd be completing it. The words hung between them, weighted with meaning. I'd love to come, she said finally. Great. Around 2? And Eliza, dress casually. No work talk allowed on Christmas. She laughed. I'll try my best. After hanging up, Eliza stood in her kitchen, a strange happiness bubbling through her. Christmas with Marcus and Lily. It felt right in a way she couldn't articulate. At her closet, she bypassed her usual designer wear for seldom-worn jeans and a soft green sweater. She spent more time than usual on selecting gifts, stopping at an open convenience store for wrapping paper to package the butterfly habitat kit she'd originally planned to give Lily after the holidays, and grabbing a bottle of good wine for Marcus. At precisely 2 o'clock, she knocked on their apartment door, oddly nervous. Lily answered, her face lighting up. Ms. Winters. You came. Daddy, she's here. Marcus appeared behind his daughter, wearing a red sweater that brought out the warmth in his complexion. Merry Christmas, Eliza. Come in. The apartment was transformed, a small tree twinkled in the corner, paper snowflakes hung from the ceiling, and delicious smells wafted from the kitchen. It's beautiful, Eliza said, taking in the homemade decorations. Lily's the artistic director of Christmas, Marcus explained with a smile. I just follow orders. The afternoon unfolded with a warmth Eliza had never experienced in her own family celebrations. They ate a simple but delicious dinner, played board games where Lily was allowed to win, and watched a Christmas movie with hot chocolate. Throughout it all, Eliza felt a sense of belonging that both thrilled and terrified her. This was what a real Christmas should feel like, not the cold, formal affairs of her childhood or the solitary days of her adult life. When Lily finally fell asleep on the couch, exhausted from excitement, Marcus carefully carried her to bed. Returning to the living room, he found Eliza gazing at the Christmas tree, a wistful expression on her face. "Penny for your thoughts," he said softly, joining her. "I was just thinking how lovely this day has been. Thank you for including me. Thank you for coming." He hesitated, then added, "Lily adores you, you know. Thank you for coming." He hesitated, then added, "Lily adores you, you know." Eliza smiled, warmth spreading through her chest. "The feeling is mutual. She's an extraordinary child." "She is." Marcus paused, seeming to gather his courage. "At the Christmas party, before I got called away, there was something I wanted to tell you." Eliza's heart quickened. "Yes?" "I've been struggling with how to say this, especially given our professional relationship, but..." He took a deep breath. "I care about you, Eliza. As more than my boss. More than a friend." The words hung in the air between them, honest and vulnerable. "I understand if you don't feel the same," he continued when she didn't immediately respond. "Or if you think it's inappropriate. I just needed you to know." Eliza reached for his hand, her fingers intertwining with his. "I care about you too, Marcus. I've been fighting it because I thought it was unprofessional, but I can't deny it anymore." His eyes searched hers, hope and uncertainty mingled in their depths. "Where does that leave us?" "I don't know," she admitted. "It's complicated." "It is," he agreed. "But maybe we could figure it out together?" In answer, Eliza leaned forward and gently pressed her lips to his. The kiss was soft, tentative at first, then deepening as Marcus pulled her closer. When they finally broke apart, both were breathless. "I've wanted to do that for months," Marcus confessed, his forehead resting against hers. "Me too," Eliza whispered. They spent the rest of the evening talking quietly, sharing stories of their pasts, their hopes, their fears. Marcus told her about meeting his late wife in college, their whirlwind romance, and the devastating loss when cancer took her just 3 years after Lily's birth. "I never thought I'd feel this way about anyone again," he admitted. "I was focused on being everything Lily needed. And then you walked into my life, this brilliant, beautiful, surprisingly compassionate woman who saw past my mistakes to what I could be." Eliza shared her own story, her emotionally distant parents, her determination to succeed on her own terms, the loneliness that had become so familiar she hardly noticed it anymore. "Until you and Lily," she said softly. "You made me realize what I've been missing." When it grew late, Eliza reluctantly prepared to leave. At the door, Marcus kissed her again, a promise in the gentle pressure of his lips. "Merry Christmas, Eliza." "Merry Christmas, Marcus." Driving home through the quiet streets, Eliza felt as though her life had irrevocably changed, as if she'd been given a gift she never knew she wanted but now couldn't imagine living without. The new year brought both joy and challenges. Eliza and Marcus agreed to keep their relationship private at work, maintaining professional boundaries during office hours. But evenings and weekends became precious time for the three of them to be together. Eliza discovered the simple pleasures of family life, helping Lily with homework, cooking dinner together, weekend trips to museums and parks. Marcus showed her that vulnerability wasn't weakness but strength, that opening her heart didn't diminish her professional accomplishments but enhanced her life immeasurably. By Valentine's Day, Eliza knew she was in love. The realization didn't come with dramatic fanfare but in a quiet moment, watching Marcus help Lily build a science project, his patience and encouragement unwavering despite his own exhaustion after a long workday. That evening, after Lily was asleep, Eliza told him. "I love you," she said simply, the words both terrifying and liberating. Marcus's face transformed with joy. "I love you too. So much." As spring approached, they began discussing the future. The company's anti-fraternization policy was a concern, though as CEO, Eliza had some flexibility in interpreting it. "I could look for another job," Marcus suggested one evening as they discussed the issue. "Absolutely not," Eliza replied firmly. "You've earned your position. I'll speak with the board about amending the policy." "Are you sure? It could be complicated." "You're worth complicated," she assured him. The board meeting was indeed complicated. Several members expressed concern about the appearance of favoritism, while others worried about potential legal issues if the relationship ended badly. "I understand your concerns," Eliza told them calmly. "But I believe in transparency and integrity. Marcus's work speaks for itself. His promotion was based solely on merit, as his performance reviews clearly show. Moving forward, he'll report directly to the creative director rather than to me." After lengthy discussion, the board reluctantly agreed to amend the policy, with strict guidelines about professional conduct and conflict resolution. With that hurdle cleared, Eliza and Marcus began discussing living arrangements. Her penthouse was luxurious but not particularly child-friendly. His apartment was warm but cramped for 3 people. "We should look for something new," Eliza suggested. "A fresh start for all of us." Marcus seemed hesitant. "I'd like that, but I need to be honest about something first." His serious tone concerned her. "What is it?" "It's about my financial situation. There's something I haven't told you." Eliza's stomach tightened. Was he in debt? Had he made some terrible financial mistake? "Before I met you," Marcus began carefully, "before I even applied to Winter's design, I was working on something in my spare time. A sustainable building material made from recycled plastics and agricultural waste." Eliza nodded, confused about where this was heading. 3 years ago, right after Sarah died, I patented the process. A major construction company licensed it." He paused. "The royalties have been substantial." "Substantial?" Eliza repeated, still not understanding. "I'm not struggling financially, Eliza. I never was. The modest apartment, the careful budgeting, that was by choice, not necessity." "I don't understand. Why would you live so frugally if you didn't have to?" Marcus sighed. "After Sarah died, I saw how quickly money could become meaningless. All our savings couldn't save her. I decided then that I wanted Lily to grow up understanding the value of things beyond their price tag. I wanted her to know that happiness comes from connection, not consumption. So all this time, I've been putting most of the royalty income into trusts for Lily's future and various charitable foundations. I live on my salary from Winters because I love the work, not because I need it." Eliza sat back, processing this revelation. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "At first, it wasn't relevant. Then, as we grew closer." He looked embarrassed. "I was afraid it might change how you saw me. Or that you might think I'd been deceiving you." "Which you kind of were," Eliza pointed out, though without anger. "By omission, yes. I'm sorry for that." He reached for her hand. "I should have trusted you with the truth sooner." Eliza was quiet for a moment, thinking about all the time she'd worried about his financial situation, the health benefits she'd created primarily for Lily, the raise she'd pushed through, even the tuxedo she'd arranged under false pretenses. Suddenly, she began to laugh. "What's so funny?" Marcus asked, bewildered. "All this time, I thought I was helping you. I even felt a little guilty about the power imbalance between us, me with my CEO salary and you struggling as a single dad." She shook her head, still laughing. "And you're what, secretly wealthy?" Marcus smiled sheepishly. "I wouldn't say wealthy. Comfortable. Very comfortable." "How comfortable are we talking?" The patent generates about 3 million annually. Eliza's laughter stopped abruptly. $3 million. A year. He nodded, watching her carefully. Are you angry? I'm processing. She stood, pacing the room. So when I created that special health benefit for Lily's treatment, I was deeply touched by your thoughtfulness, Marcus said sincerely. But yes, I could have afforded it. I was actually in the process of setting up a foundation to help other families with similar needs when you announced the new benefit. Eliza shook her head, amazed. And the tuxedo for the gala? The one I manipulated you into accepting because I thought you couldn't afford it? Marcus looked surprised. Is that why Diane was so insistent about the photo shoot? I wondered about that. I thought I was being so clever, Eliza admitted. And all along, you could have bought the entire formalwear department if you'd wanted to. I wouldn't go that far, Marcus said, smiling now. But yes, I could have managed a tuxedo. Eliza sat back down beside him. I don't know whether to laugh or be annoyed with you. I vote for laughing, he suggested hopefully. And maybe forgiving me for not being completely forthcoming. She studied his face, the genuine remorse in his eyes, the vulnerability in his expression. Why did you keep living in that small apartment? Why keep working so hard when you didn't need to? The apartment was our home with Sarah. Lily feels close to her mother there. His expression softened. And I work hard because I love what I do. Because creating spaces that improve people's lives matters to me. The money is just security. It means Lily will always be taken care of, no matter what happens. Eliza felt her irritation melting away. How could she fault him for prioritizing his daughter's emotional well-being over material comfort? For finding meaning in work rather than wealth? So, she said finally, you're not just a talented designer and amazing father. You're also a secret millionaire inventor. When you put it that way, it sounds much more impressive than it feels, Marcus replied with a self-deprecating smile. It is impressive. Eliza leaned forward, kissing him softly. But not as impressive as the man you are every day. Relief washed over his features. You're not angry? I'm a little embarrassed about my misplaced charity, she admitted. But no, not angry. Just adjusting my perspective. Marcus pulled her close. For what it's worth, everything you did, the health benefits, the promotion, even the tuxedo scheme, showed me who you really are. A woman who cares deeply, who notices others' struggles and tries to help. That's who I fell in love with. Eliza rested her head against his shoulder. So about that new place we were discussing. I was thinking, Marcus said carefully, that maybe we could design something together. Something that reflects all of us, your elegance, Lily's creativity, my practicality. I'd like that, Eliza said, imagining a home filled with laughter and love, so different from the sterile perfection of her penthouse or the formal mansion of her childhood. There's a piece of land just outside the city, Marcus continued. Near the botanical gardens where we had that first dinner. It has a small stream and lots of trees. Perfect for a butterfly garden. Eliza smiled, remembering Lily's painting. It sounds perfect. 6 months later, construction began on their new home, a modern, sustainable design that incorporated elements from both their professional aesthetics. Lily insisted on a butterfly garden and a studio where the three of them could create art together. As summer turned to fall, Eliza found herself spending more nights at Marcus's apartment than her own penthouse. Lily had begun calling her Liza instead of Ms. Winters, a small change that filled Eliza's heart with joy. One evening, as they prepared dinner together, Eliza chopping vegetables while Marcus stirred sauce and Lily set the table, Eliza was struck by the simple perfection of the moment. This was what she'd been working toward all these years without even knowing it, not just professional success, but a family to share it with. What are you thinking about? Marcus asked, noticing her thoughtful expression. How lucky I am, she replied honestly. How unexpected all of this is. He smiled, understanding in his eyes. The best things usually are. Later that night, after Lily was asleep, they sat on the small balcony, looking at the stars. I have something for you, Marcus said, reaching into his pocket. He handed her a small velvet box. Inside was a ring, elegant and understated, a single diamond set in platinum with tiny butterflies engraved on the band. Eliza Winters, he said softly, you walked into our lives and changed everything. You showed me it was possible to love again, to build a new future without forgetting the past. Will you marry me? Tears filled Eliza's eyes. Yes, she whispered. Yes, I will. As he slipped the ring onto her finger, she added, on one condition. Anything. No more secrets. Financial or otherwise. Marcus laughed, pulling her close. I promise. Complete transparency from now on. Good, Eliza said, kissing him. Because I have a secret of my own. He pulled back, eyebrows raised. Oh. I've been talking to an adoption agency. About the possibility of giving Lily a sibling someday. If you're open to the idea. Marcus's eyes widened, then filled with tears. You would want that? To adopt a child with me? I would. I do. Eliza touched his face gently. This family we're building, it feels right. Complete in some ways, but also with room to grow. Marcus pulled her into his arms, his voice thick with emotion. I love you so much. I love you too, Eliza whispered against his chest. All of you, the designer, the father, even the secret millionaire. He laughed, the sound vibrating against her cheek. And I love all of you, the CEO, the unexpected mother figure, the woman who sees beyond surfaces to what really matters. They stayed on the balcony late into the night, planning their future together, a future neither could have imagined a year earlier, when they were just boss and employee, separated by professional boundaries and unspoken feelings. The wedding was held the following spring in the nearly completed butterfly garden of their new home. Lily served as flower girl, scattering petals with artistic flair down the aisle before taking her place beside her father. As Eliza walked toward them, radiant in a simple ivory gown, she marveled at how completely her life had transformed. The woman who had once defined herself solely by professional achievements now understood that success without love was an empty victory. Marcus watched her approach, love shining in his eyes. Beside him, Lily bounced with excitement, her dark curls adorned with tiny butterflies that matched the ones on Eliza's bouquet. When she reached them, Marcus took her hand, and Lily slipped her small hand into Eliza's other one. Together, the three of them faced the officiant, a family already, making it official before their friends and colleagues. I never expected you, Eliza said in her vows, her voice steady despite the emotion filling her chest. I never expected this kind of love, the kind that expands rather than limits, that strengthens rather than weakens. You and Lily showed me what family really means. Not obligation or appearance, but choice and commitment and joy. Marcus's voice was thick with emotion as he responded. You saw me when I was trying to be invisible. You believed in me when I'd stopped believing in myself. You loved Lily as if she were your own from the very beginning. I promised to spend the rest of my life showing you that your trust in us was well placed. When the officiant pronounced them husband and wife, Lily cheered louder than anyone, throwing her remaining flower petals into the air where they mingled with actual butterflies drawn to the garden's blooms. At the reception, Eliza's assistant approached with tears in her eyes. I've never seen you look so happy, she said, hugging her boss, something she would never have dared do a year earlier. I've never been so happy, Eliza replied honestly. Later, as they danced beneath twinkling lights strung through the trees, Marcus held her close. Mrs. Chen, he murmured against her hair. Actually, Eliza corrected with a smile, it's going to be Chen Winters. Professionally and personally. Chen Winters, he repeated, testing the sound. I like it. A perfect blend, just like us. Across the garden, Lily was showing her new cousins, Marcus's sister's children, how to identify different butterfly species. Her laughter carried on the spring breeze, a sound that had become the soundtrack to Eliza's new life. Look at her, Eliza said softly. She's flourishing. We all are, Marcus replied, his eyes full of love as he gazed at his wife. Who would have thought a late employee and a strict boss would end up here? Eliza laughed, remembering their first meeting, her irritation, his apologies. The universe works in mysterious ways. Indeed it does, he agreed, spinning her gently under the stars. Indeed it does. If you enjoyed this story of unexpected love and second chances, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more heartwarming stories like this one to life. Leave a comment below sharing your favorite moment. Was it when Eliza discovered Marcus's secret fortune, or perhaps when little Lily brought them together with her artwork? We'd love to hear from you. 5 years later. The butterfly garden was in full bloom, vibrant colors attracting dozens of winged visitors that danced through the summer air. Eliza sat on the wide porch of their home, watching as Marcus chased their children across the lawn. Lily, now 11 and growing more beautiful each day, was showing her younger brother how to use the butterfly net without harming its delicate targets. 4-year-old Noah, adopted from foster care 3 years earlier, followed his big sister with complete adoration, his curly hair bouncing with each step. Careful, buddy. Marcus called as Noah nearly tripped in his excitement. The butterflies will still be there if you slow down. Eliza smiled, one hand resting on her slightly rounded belly. Their third child, a surprise biological pregnancy that had shocked them both, was due in the winter. A girl, according to the ultrasound. They planned to name her Sarah, in honor of the woman whose love had shaped Marcus and Lily before Eliza entered their lives. The Chen Winters home had become exactly what they'd envisioned, a perfect blend of elegance and warmth, with spaces for creativity and togetherness. The sustainable materials Marcus had invented formed its foundation, while Eliza's eye for design gave it distinctive character. Professionally, they'd both evolved as well. Winters' design group had expanded internationally, with Marcus heading the innovative sustainability division. Eliza remained CEO but had restructured her role to allow more family time. Together, they'd established a foundation that provided medical assistance to children with respiratory conditions like Lily's, which had improved dramatically with age and treatment. Mom! Look! Lily called, carefully approaching with a monarch butterfly perched on her finger. It's the first one this season. Eliza leaned forward to admire the orange and black wings. It's beautiful, sweetheart. Just like you. Lily beamed at the compliment. Though not biologically Eliza's daughter, she had adopted many of her stepmother's mannerisms and interests over the years. The adoption had been finalized shortly after the wedding, making official what they all already felt in their hearts. Can I show Noah how to feed it? Lily asked. Of course. The nectar solution is in the kitchen. As the children hurried inside, Marcus collapsed dramatically onto the porch swing beside Eliza. They have endless energy, he groaned, though his eyes sparkled with happiness. Wonder where they get that from, Eliza teased, leaning into his embrace. Certainly not from their father who was up at dawn redesigning the Tokyo project. Guilty, he admitted, placing a gentle hand on her belly. How are my girls today? Active. She's going to be a dancer, I think. Marcus smiled, the lines around his eyes deepening. At 41, his hair showed touches of silver at the temples, which Eliza found impossibly attractive. Another butterfly for our garden. Speaking of which, Eliza said, Lily's school called. They want us to speak at Career Day next month. Both of us. The CEO and the inventor? We'll overwhelm those poor kids with our combined brilliance. Eliza laughed, swatting his arm playfully. Be serious. I think we should do it. Lily would love it. Of course we'll do it, Marcus agreed, kissing her temple. Though I'm not sure what wisdom I have to impart beyond, marry your boss if she's brilliant and beautiful. Very funny. I was thinking more along the lines of follow your passion and create something meaningful. That works too, he conceded with a grin. They sat in comfortable silence, watching as the sun began its descent toward the horizon. These quiet moments were precious in their busy lives, time to simply be together, to appreciate the family they'd built. Do you ever think about how differently things might have turned out? Eliza asked softly. If you hadn't been late that day? If I hadn't offered to help with the Parkerson presentation? Marcus considered the question. Sometimes. But then I look at our life now, and I can't imagine any other path. It's as if everything, even the difficult parts, was leading us here. To our butterfly garden, Eliza murmured, remembering Lily's painting from years ago. Exactly. Marcus squeezed her hand. Though I still feel guilty about not telling you about the patent sooner. Eliza laughed. I've forgiven you. Though I still can't believe I spent months worrying about your finances when you were secretly a millionaire. Not secretly, he corrected. Just, selectively forthcoming. Is that what we're calling it now? Before he could respond, the children burst back onto the porch, Noah carrying the nectar solution with exaggerated care while Lily supervised. We found another one. Noah announced excitedly. A yellow one. A clouded sulfur, Lily corrected with the authority of a budding naturalist. They like clover best. Well, Professor Chinwinters, Marcus said, standing to join them, lead the way to the clover patch. As the three of them headed back to the garden, Eliza watched with a heart so full it sometimes still surprised her. From her lonely penthouse to this vibrant home filled with love and laughter, the transformation seemed almost miraculous. Her phone buzzed with a work email, but for once, Eliza ignored it. The company would survive without her immediate attention. This moment, her family in the golden afternoon light, surrounded by butterflies and possibility, was too precious to miss. Rising from the swing, she joined them in the garden, where Marcus welcomed her with an arm around her waist and a kiss that still made her heart race after all these years. I love you, he whispered against her ear. My brilliant, beautiful boss. And I love you, she replied, my talented, secretly wealthy employee. Their laughter mingled with the children's excited voices and the gentle flutter of butterfly wings, the perfect harmony of a family that had found each other against all odds. In the distance, the sun painted the sky in shades of pink and gold, a daily reminder that endings could be beautiful beginnings in disguise. Just as Eliza's strictly professional life had ended the moment she truly saw Marcus Chen, making way for something far more precious than she could have imagined. Some might call it fate. Others, a fortunate series of coincidences. But Eliza and Marcus knew the truth, that love, like butterflies, required the right conditions to flourish. Timing and trust. Patience and courage. The willingness to emerge from one's cocoon and embrace transformation. And as they stood together in their garden, surrounded by the family they'd created, they silently thanked whatever forces had brought them together, a late employee, a demanding boss, and the little girl who had seen the possibility of their love long before they'd admitted it to themselves. Thank you for watching. Boss fell for a single dad, his secret fortune changed everything. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others who might enjoy it. Your support means everything to our channel, and we're committed to bringing you more emotional, uplifting stories that remind us all of the power of love and second chances. What kind of love story would you like to see next? Let us know in the comments below.